folks, welcome to my new digs. This is what moving and downsizing looks like. My den is now a bedroom converted, or in the process of being converted into a den. A couple of pictures on the wall, a lot of boxes lying around that I've tried to take out of the view of the camera. An ongoing process. But the airplane has been relocated to beautiful downtown Casa Grande, Arizona, and I've managed to take a few flights. Now, I'm still fighting with the GoPro camera. So I'm going to narrate and give you some still pictures, but provide you with some insights on one airport that you want to visit. If you haven't, you need to go. And that airport is Marana, just north a little bit of Tucson, KAQV, or AVQ. Marana. I went down there today. Now, the airport is made up of 2 runways. It's uncontrolled. Runways cross 1230 and 2103. And is that right? I'd have to look it up. Look it up. I'm a little bit befuddled right now because I want to get this out because it's been a long time since I visited anywhere. And so I want to get the salient points to you. If you're an aviator, you can look up the runway. I know I landed on 12 today. It was basically a straight in. But I want to talk to you about coming from, say, Phoenix, or in my case, Casa Grande. You pass over Eloy and the Pinal Air Park. Now, if you look at the sectional, there's images of emojis, if you will, of parachutes. Eloy is a mecca for skydivers. And it says, check supplement, intensive skydiving activity, this and that and the other thing. So Casa Grande has a skydiving school. So I talked to a guy there yesterday, and I said, so the sectional also has a frequency, I think it's 125.25. I said, do you guys get on that and talk to each other? And he said, no, we just use Unicom. So I went and we got just south of Casa Grande, and I dialed in the Eloy Unicom. And it was Saturday morning, and I said, so you guys have any activity? And the guy said, yeah, we do. So avoid Eloy by 5 miles east or west. Excuse me? So no control zone there. It's an uncontrolled airport. And skydivers just go up, and within 30 seconds, they throw their people out and they come back and land. So it struck me as kind of like the cyclists of the 21st century go down a road and they expect motorists to give them not only the shoulder, but the right lane and half of the left lane, because it's their highway. So I took a little bit of umbrage to that and just motored on. Watching for traffic on the fish finder and not seeing any. I called the Pinal Air Park Unicom, which Pinal is a big boneyard, but apparently they've got a bunch of skydiving activity there too. And I just transmitted in the blind, you guys have any skydiving activity? And another aircraft came up and said, haven't heard anybody, so I just motored on. But when you come from the Phoenix area down through there to get to Marana, you're going to pass by these airports, and they're going to lay claim to the airspace. I have come, when I came from Wickenburg down to Casa Grande, flight following, will tell me to avoid Buckeye by 5 miles for the same reason. And I did. But I guess that's because I subjected myself to flight following. But I never questioned it. But once again, I guess because I'm being flight followed and they're trying to keep me separated from the skydiving aircraft. But down here, I wasn't using flight following, and I, like I said, I felt no obligation to maintain separation from aircraft just because they may or may not be in my area. So that brings me into Marana. It's uncontrolled, but it's busy. Now, when I came in there, it was about 8 a.m. and 8:15 maybe, Saturday morning. It wasn't busy. And I was lined up for a straight into 1-2, and there was a guy on downwind, basically just turning downwind. So I posed no delay for him, landed, and cleared. So that's what I did. The restaurant there, Skyrider, is a great restaurant, and that's where you want to go. To find it, just follow signs to the FBO, which is on Bravo, off of Bravo, which is a parallel to 2-1. So when you get to the FBO, you'll see some transient parking off next to the fence towards the right. FBO will be to your left. And that's where you want to park. And then you'll see their sign, and it's Skyryder, Skyrider. And you'll go through the fence, and there's a little sign by the door through the fence that gives you the code on how to get back in. And it's a delightful place. I took some pictures. They'll appear now as I speak. And the food, we went for breakfast, of course, 8:30 in the morning. The food's great. The atmosphere is great. The design of this little place, as you see from the outside, is great. It's delightful. Prices are reasonable. Place was packed with a few pilots. There were only two other transient airplanes when we pulled up. One was getting ready to leave. So it's frequented as much, if not more, by locals than flying, at least when we were there. But you've got to put it on your list of places to go. And if you need gas, the FBO is right around the corner. Whether there's a gas island or not, I'm not sure. I imagine there is. Most airports have that, and if you want to get a truck to come top you off or give you some gas, I'm sure they have that too. I can't provide that, but it seems to be a full-service airport, so it shouldn't be too hard to figure that out, normal operating hours. Now, when we left, it was a lot busier. There are flight instruction flights from Phoenix. I talked to a couple of guys in the airline upgrade schools now that everybody has that just landed. So they come down there, uncontrolled field, they can get more done. There's some military operations going on there. So it's busy and it's uncontrolled. So you've got to listen up and you've got to make proper radio calls. When you're taxiing out, for instance, 2-1 was the active. Winds weren't all that much a factor, so get in line. Don't try and swim against the current. Just go where everybody's going. But in that case, you're crossing 3 and 2-1 is a cross runway. So or 3 and 2-1 was the active. So whatever the other one was, got to stop, you got to look, you got to make the call that you're crossing, you got to make the call when you're clear, because it's uncontrolled. Some some other aviator, without the winds being a factor, could very well say, well, I'm going to land on that runway, and be legal to do so. So you've got to keep a sharp eye, you got to keep a sharp ear to make sure that you're not in the headlines the next day. Just because everybody's using today 2-1 doesn't mean everybody will. So I heard a guy calling turning base for 2-1. I looked, didn't see anybody, and I didn't see anybody on the screen. So I said, I'm taking position, and it's somebody called short final. And I looked out there, and sure as hell, there was somebody out there that I didn't see. I said, I'll take it on the roll. And in my Bristol, I was airborne at about 150 feet. So I posed no problem for him. But I could well have in a different airplane, and in one way, if you want to call it, I screwed up, but I just plain didn't see him. And I didn't hear the radio call that he had made, apparently turning final. So it's easy to do, and it's a busy airport. Or it can be busy. Much like any other airport, sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. So it's not just a lazy, uncontrolled airport with a unicom and a restaurant. So you got to keep that in mind. But it's worth going. Restaurant's great. With that in mind, I'm going to go back. I'm going to figure out that GoPro and be able to make you some videos to go with it. But no hazards, no terrain to be aware of. A couple thousand feet, 3,000 foot pattern, and go. Eat. Be safe, fly safe, have a good time. Tell your friends. More to come. Have a great day.